Welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got something really cool to talk about, especially for coin lovers, collectors, and anyone curious about small change that might be worth more. We're diving deep into the story of the Australian 5-cent coin from 2014 in very fine condition and what it's worth in today's market, all in an upbeat, informative way. So if you've got one of these tucked away, or you're building a collection, stick around because there's a lot to love about this little. Let's start with the history and significance of the 2014 5-cent piece. The Australian 5-cent coin is part of Australia's decimal currency system that began in 1966, replacing the old sixpence when Australia moved to decimal dollars. Ever since then, this tiny coin has played a big role in everyday transactions across the country. The 2014 version features the classic design that's been familiar to Aussies for decades. The unmistakable echidna on the back, and the elegant effigy of Queen Elizabeth II on the front, representing not just currency, but a piece of Australian heritage. In very fine condition, this coin shows light wear from circulation, but still holds crisp detail and plenty of character, which is exactly what collectors appreciate. Now let's talk about the background, shape, and composition of this coin, because that's a big part of what makes it interesting. This 5-cent coin is round in shape, with a diameter of about and weighs just under small but perfectly formed. It's made from a copper-nickel alloy, crafted to withstand years of use in daily handling. That composition gives it a nice silvery finish and solid durability. The echidna on the reverse, designed by Stuart Devlin, has been a beloved feature since the coin's introduction, and the fourth portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse gives it a classic look that collectors enjoy. So what about collector demand for this coin? While the 2014 Australian 5-cent piece is considered a common date in the series, that doesn't mean it's uninteresting. There's a strong market for classic decimal coins among hobbyists and beginner collectors, because the 5C coins represent such an iconic part of Australia's currency story. Collectors often look for well-preserved examples from each year, and coins in very fine condition show a pleasing balance between being used and still displaying a lot of detail. Many collectors actively seek out sets that feature each year, and 2014 is an important part of that sequence. As a result, demand remains steady, not wild, but genuine and consistent among those building collections or filling gaps in their albums. Now let's get to the much-anticipated question. What is the current market value in dollars for a 2014 5-cent coin in very fine condition? In everyday coin markets and collector catalogs, typical circulated examples of this coin in very fine condition are often seen offered for something modest above. Depending on where you look, these coins can trade for a few cents over sometimes around $31.30, $0 to $1, $50,000 in typical collector listings. Uncirculated or extremely fine examples can fetch a bit more, often a few dollars. What's important to understand is that coins with special qualities, like those that were part of mint sets, proof issues, or have unique features, often command a higher premium than the average circulated one. So while a standard very fine 2014 might be worth a small premium on the market, the story. Let's talk tips for collectors who want to get the most out of this series or value their pieces properly. First, always pay attention to the condition and luster of the coin. Even small differences in wear can affect how much someone is willing to pay. Second, consider investing in proper storage coin flips. Albums or protective holders can keep your coins looking great and protect them from damage. Third, if you're interested in selling, always check recent sales or marketplace listings to see what similar coins have actually sold for. Listing prices aren't always accurate, but sold prices give you the real market picture. And finally, embrace the joy of collecting. Some of the most exciting finds come from sorting your own loose change or hunting through estate collections. You never know what you might. So to wrap it all up, the Australian 5 cents from 2014 in very fine condition is more than just pocket change. It's a piece of history, a testament to thoughtful design, and a collectible that holds steady interest among hobbyists. While its market value today might not be sky-high, there's real enjoyment and potential in learning about these coins and watching markets as they evolve. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, this little silver disc has a big story behind it. Next up, today we're diving into something truly special. A little piece of Australian history that's captured the hearts of collectors around the world. The 1971 Australian 5-cent coin, especially those in very fine condition, and what you should know about its current market value in US dollars. If you've ever wondered why this small coin holds such charm and collector interest, you're in the right place. Let's start from the beginning. The story of the Australian 5-cent coin begins in 1966, when Australia transitioned from pounds, shillings, and pence to decimal currency. This was a big moment in Australia's monetary history, and with it came brand new coins including this humble 5-cent piece. The 1971 coin carries with it nearly half a century of everyday use and historical significance. Now, when we talk about condition, the term very fine might sound simple, but it carries a lot of meaning for collectors. A coin graded very fine shows clear design details, moderate wear on the high points, and retains a pleasing look overall. It's not mint, but it's not beaten up either. It shows character, evidence of circulation, yet still has charm. For many collectors, a very fine 1971 Australian 5 cents is the perfect balance between history and aesthetic appeal, not too worn, not too shiny, and definitely full of personality. Let's talk about what this coin looks like and what it's made from. On the obverse, you'll find the iconic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, a familiar figure on many Australian coins of that era. Her portrait embodies Australia's connection to the Commonwealth and adds a regal touch to this small piece of currency. Flip the coin over, and you'll see the unmistakable symbol of Australian wildlife, the echidna. It's a beautiful little creature and a perfect representation of Australia's unique biodiversity. The echidna design is one of the reasons these coins are instantly recognizable and beloved by collectors worldwide. In terms of composition, the 1971 Australian 5-cent coin is crafted from cupronickel, a durable blend of copper and nickel. This composition gives the coin a silvery sheen and makes it resilient to wear and tear. Its weight and size make it comfortable to handle, and its metallic composition ensures it ages gracefully. Now let's talk about demand. Why are collectors so interested in this coin? Well, several factors come into play. First, there's the historical appeal. Coins from the early years of decimal currency are always sought after because they represent a pivotal change in a nation's monetary system. Second, the design itself, with the echidna and the Queen's portrait, has become iconic. Many collectors focus on building a complete set of Australian decimal coins, and the 1971 Australian 5 cents is an essential piece in any collection. Third, coins in higher grades like very fine, extremely fine, or better are less common than those that have seen heavy circulation. So when a 1971 Australian 5 cents coin is presented in very fine condition, it stands out. Collectors appreciate that balance of history, design integrity, and condition. All of this contributes to steady demand in coin markets, online auctions, and collector circles. Let's get to the part you've been waiting for: current market value in dollars. Now, of course, coin values vary depending on condition, demand, and where you buy or sell them. But as of now, a 1971 Australian 5 cents coin in very fine condition typically falls within a range that reflects its collectability and condition. In general, you might expect values in the ballpark of several dollars to around $1.40, $1.50 for a standard very fine example. If the coin shows exceptional eye appeal for its grade, maybe sharper details or nicer color, it could fetch a bit more from dedicated collectors. On the other hand, prices can vary if you're buying from a dealer, at auction, or online marketplaces like eBay. Remember, coin values aren't fixed, they rise and fall with demand, overall precious metal sentiment, and the collector market at any given time. But the good news is that a 1971 5 cents coin in very fine condition remains a fun and affordable piece for both new and experienced collectors alike. If you're thinking about collecting this coin or already have one, I've got some positive tips to help you on your journey. First, always check the condition carefully. Coins that have been cleaned aggressively or mishandled can lose value. A gentle patina is often more desirable than an overly shiny surface. Second, study your coin's details, compare it against grading guides or reference photos. The sharper the design features, the more valuable your coin might be. Next, consider how you store and protect your coins. Simple coin flips, albums, or protective holders can make a big difference in preserving condition over time. And most importantly, collect with joy. Every coin tells a story, and part of the fun is the hunt finding that piece that speaks to you personally. So there you have it, the story of the 1971 Australian 5-cent coin. Its rich history, delightful design, ongoing collector demand, current market value in US dollars, and a few helpful tips if you're starting your own collection. Whether you're attracted to the historical significance, the iconic echidna design, or just love coins with character, this little piece of metal has a lot to offer. It may be small in size, but it carries big charm and enduring appeal. Next up, today we're diving into something small in size, but big in personality, a coin that has captured the interest of collectors around the world. I'm talking about the Australia 5-cent coin from 1977, specifically in very fine condition, and we're going to explore its story, its features, what makes it collectible, and most importantly, what it's worth in today's market. So, let's begin with a little bit of history. The Australian 5-cent coin was first introduced in 1966, when Australia changed over to decimal currency. It replaced the old sixpence, and right from the start, it was designed to be sturdy, practical, and instantly recognizable. By 1977, this coin had already become a daily use piece of money in every pocket across the country. It was a time when coins weren't just currency, they were part of everyday life, jingling in cash registers, savings jars, and coin collections. When collectors today talk about the 1977 Australian 5-cent piece, they're referring to a coin that spent its early life being used and passed around. Many were saved, many were spent, and the ones that remain in better condition are the result of careful keeping over the decades. In coin collecting terms, very fine condition means you can still clearly see the details of the design, even though there is some wear from circulation. It's not mint state, but that's part of its charm. This coin has a story you can see just by holding it. Now let's take a closer look at the physical aspects of the coin. The 5-cent piece is small and utilitarian, but it's beautifully crafted. It's made from cupro-nickel, an alloy known for its durability and resistance to corrosion. This gives the coin its silvery look and ensures it can stand the test of time. Around the edge, you'll notice a finely reeded rim, and on the reverse is the beloved echidna design, instantly associated with the Australian 5-cent. The obverse features the effigy of the reigning monarch at the time, Queen Elizabeth II, rendered with clarity and dignity. Collectors appreciate coins like this, not just for their metal composition, but for the way they represent a moment in history. The 1977 Australian 5-cent isn't rare in the strictest sense. It was produced in high quantities, but examples in very fine condition have survived because someone chose to hold on to them, protect them, or perhaps recognize something special about them long before it became widely known. Which brings us to collector demand. While many people don't think twice about everyday coins, numismatists and hobbyists have a knack for spotting coins with character. The 1977 Australian 5-cent has earned a steady following because it belongs to that first generation of decimal currency. It's a touchpoint between everyday use and collectible interest. As the years go by, people continue to look for older coins like this to complete sets, to study, or simply to enjoy the feeling of holding history in their hands. So what is this coin worth today? Well, the answer depends on condition, and since we're talking about a very fine example, that's a sweet spot for both beginner and experienced collectors. In today's market, a 1977 Australian 5-cent coin in very fine condition typically sells for more than its face value of just 5 cents. Much more. Collectors looking to add this coin to their collection may pay an amount in $1.50 $0 to $1, $75,000 that reflects the coin's age, condition, and demand. While coins in average circulated condition might sell for just a bit above, very fine specimens can attract a strong premium because they show good detail and minimal wear. Of course, prices can fluctuate based on market trends, where you sell and who you're selling to. That's what makes collecting exciting. Sometimes you find a coin at a local show or online for one price, and then see it listed higher somewhere else. Experienced collectors learn to read the room, so to speak, and understand where their coins fit in the broader market. If you're just starting out or thinking about collecting 5-cent coins from Australia, here are a few helpful tips. First, always handle your coins carefully. Hold them by the edges to avoid fingerprints and wear. Store them in protective flips or albums to keep them safe. Do your research so you can recognize what condition grades like fine, very fine, and extremely fine actually look like. And don't be afraid to connect with other collectors. There's a whole community out there happy to share knowledge and enthusiasm. Remember that collecting is a long-term hobby. Today's common coin might be tomorrow's gem, and part of the joy is watching that story unfold over time. Whether you're searching through pocket change, visiting local dealers, or exploring auctions online, enjoying the journey makes every coin more meaningful. So to wrap things up, the Australia 1977 Australian 5-cent coin in very fine condition is a wonderful piece with history, character, and collector appeal. Its composition, design, and surviving examples make it a favorite among enthusiasts, and its current market value reflects a healthy interest in coins from Australia's early decimal era. Next up, today we're diving into something small but fascinating, the Australia 5-cent coin from 2005 in very fine condition. You might think a 5-cent coin is just everyday change, but there's a lot more to these little pieces of history than meets the eye. So grab your magnifying glass and let's explore what makes this coin special, what it's made of, why collectors pay attention to it, and what it's worth today in dollars. The Australian 5-cent coin has been part of everyday life down under since the introduction of decimal currency in 1966. It replaced the old sixpence and quickly became indispensable for small transactions in Australia's economy. The reverse of the coin features the beloved echidna, a quirky native animal designed by Stuart Devlin, a consistent and iconic image collectors instantly recognize. The 2005 version was minted in Canberra, and while it's not among the rarest dates, it's appreciated by modern collectors because there are subtle differences in how each year's coins circulate and wear. A very fine condition coin means that the major design details are still clear and pleasing to look at, with moderate wear from circulation, but no deep scratches or damage that would detract from its eye appeal. It carries the story of its journey from pocket to pocket, and that's part of the charm collectors enjoy. This cupronical blend was chosen long ago because it resists corrosion and stands up well in everyday use. Whether it's jingling in jars, stored in albums, or kept in coin folders, this metal mix has proven practical and attractive for decades. Now you might be wondering, why do people collect 5-cent coins at all? After all, they're common. The answer is more interesting than you'd think. Every coin tells a story of the place and time it was minted, the monarch depicted, and the journey it took before landing in your hands. Many collectors aim to build complete date runs of Australian decimal coins, and the 2005 5-cent piece plays a key role in it. Collectors also love grading their coins, evaluating their condition with professional standards. A coin in very fine condition shows more design details than typical circulated pieces and can be a highlight of someone's album. Some enthusiasts even hunt for uncirculated or proof versions of this coin, which can fetch a premium compared to normal circulation examples. So what's this little coin worth today if you were to sell or trade it? For most 2005 Australian 5-cent coins in very fine condition, current value guides show that collectors might pay around $1.30, $0 to $1.75, $0, sometimes a bit more, depending on collector interest and market trends. This isn't surprising when you consider that nearly of these coins were minted, which makes them quite common in the world of numismatics. However, even common coins can be valuable to the right person at the right time, especially if they are in better condition than most. Royal Australian Mint. There are also error varieties or unique minting oddities that can drive a coin's value much higher, sometimes into the tens or even hundreds of dollars. These are exceptions, not the rule, but they add excitement and exploration to the hobby. Now, before you go rooting through change jars or digging out your old coins, here are some tips to help you spot collectible gems. First, always handle your coins gently. Oils from your fingers can affect the surfaces, so if you're serious, use gloves or handle them by the edges. Next, learn about grading standards. Understanding what makes a coin very fine versus extremely fine can help you evaluate what you truly have. It's also worth comparing prices from different sources: online auction sites, coin dealer catalogs, and collector forums, because values can vary over time and by condition. Finally, consider getting rare or high-value coins professionally graded if you think you've found something special. A graded slab can give buyers more confidence in what you're offering, whether for trade or sale. So, what's the bottom line? The Australia 5 cents 2005 coin in very fine condition may not make you rich overnight, but it is a wonderful little piece of history that brings joy to collectors around the world. Its story, from iconic echidna design to everyday circulation, makes it a delightful addition to any collection. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned numismatist, this coin is a reminder that even small change can have big meaning. Next up, today we're diving into one of Australia's most iconic everyday coins, the 1997 Australian 5 cent piece. Now, this tiny copper-nickel coin might seem humble at first glance, but for collectors and history lovers alike, it's a fascinating piece of modern numismatic history. Whether you already have one in your pocket or you're just curious about its value, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin matters and what it's worth in today's market. Let's start with some history. Australia introduced the 5 cent coin way back in 1966, when the country switched to decimal currency, replacing the old sixpence. The humble 5 cent piece has been every Australian's pocket companion ever since, and the design has stayed incredibly consistent. A portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse and a little echidna on the reverse, rolling into its spiny ball shape. That adorable echidna design was created by the renowned designer Stuart Devlin and has become synonymous with this denomination. When we talk about condition, the phrase very fine means the coin has seen gentle circulation. In coins of this grade, you'll still see nice detail on the echidna and queen, but with light wear from use. That makes these coins especially desirable for collectors who want that lived-in look without significant damage. Let's talk about what this coin actually is. The Australian 5 cent piece is made from cupronickel, a durable alloy of copper and nickel. This composition gives the coin a silver-like appearance and excellent resistance to wear and corrosion, which is why you can still find 1997 pieces looking. Now you might be wondering, why would anyone actually collect this coin when there are millions of them out there? The answer comes down to personal collecting goals and niche interests. While the 1997 5 cent is common, many collectors enjoy building complete date runs, especially of coins featuring Queen Elizabeth II's portrait styles. It's a fun way to track changes in design and minting over time. And while the 1997 version isn't rare, coins from the decimal era do have a dedicated following because they represent everyday Australian life over the years. A very fine condition piece can be especially attractive to collectors who want a balance between originality and detail. So, let's get to what you're really here for: the value in dollars. In today's market, a 1997 Australian 5 cents coin in very fine condition generally trades for more than its face value, especially among collectors. Online coin catalogs and auction sites show that average values for similar examples can range around about $1.50, $0 to $1.60, $0 with prices sometimes going a bit higher depending on the buyer and condition. A circulated example might sell for just a couple of dollars, while pristine or high-grade uncirculated coins can fetch even more. It's not a coin that usually breaks the bank, but the joy is in knowing its story and place in Australian numismatic history. If you're interested in collecting coins like this one, here are a few friendly tips. First, Always handle coins with care. Oils from your skin can affect the surface over time, so using gloves or holding coins by the edge preserves their condition. Second, learn the grading scale so you can better identify what makes a coin very fine versus extremely fine or uncirculated. That knowledge will help you spot value opportunities in coin rolls or at swap meets. Third, keep an eye on online marketplaces. Prices can fluctuate based on collector demand and seller notoriety, so patience often pays off. To wrap up, the 1,997 Australian 5-cent coin is a charming little piece of history. It may be common, but it's a solid foundation piece for any coin collection thanks to its classic design, stable composition, and steady collector interest. In very fine condition, these coins have real appeal and a real place in the market.